More than ever, male seiyuu have been straying away from making debuts with major music labels. Many prefer the quiet, no-pressure and completely creative side of the indie music scene, and thus they decide either to go solo as an indie artist or create a unique indie project that defies what is considered a common music project. In this episode, you and I are going to talk about the ways in which you can support indie music projects by male seiyuu. Let's kick off this episode of SEIYUU Lounge. Welcome to SEIYUU Lounge. I am your host Vanessa, and today's topic is: what can you do to support indie music projects by male seiyuu? This topic is a suggestion by Mao in the 100th episode survey. The comment was as follows: what do you think we as fans can do as seiyuu fans to support more seiyuu's indie music careers from overseas without any Japanese knowledge? For example, Katari and Umake. So this time around, let's talk about the ways in which you can support your favorite indie artists among male seiyuu, especially when you are an international fan. Think of this episode as a quick guide to help you out. A note though, if you do not have much money, either because you're a minor or because of your financial situation, you can support your favorite music projects. There are many ways to support that do not involve you spending any money. And remember, just because you do not purchase that seiyuu or band's music, it doesn't make you any less of a fan. You're still a fan. Disclaimers aside, let's start talking about the ways in which you can support your favorite indie projects by male seiyuu. For most of the things I'm going to suggest to you, you do not need any Japanese knowledge. Support them on social media. This is as simple as it gets. As a fan, you will want to get the latest news on your favorite male seiyuu indie project. So, of course, you are on social media, and so you will end up following their profiles. But don't just lurk on those profiles. Like and share the content. More people sharing and liking amplifies the reach of the content, and thus it helps the indie project you love. There are some music festivals that require indie acts to have a certain number of people following them on social media so that they can be invited to such music festivals. I don't know if this is common in the Japanese music industry, but that sure as hell is common in Western music. So the first way for you to help your favorite indie project is by following their social media accounts. Do note that social media platforms know which accounts are bots or behave like bots, and those that are real accounts with content and activity. So creating a lot of accounts just to boost, in a fake way, the number of followers of your favorite indie project is not the way to go. Bots are removed from time to time and don't actually add any value to an account should the manager of that project conduct an audit on the quality of their social media accounts. Also, if you can, leave them comments in English. There are seiyuu that understand English, others use the translate function on social media. Seeing a comment in a foreign language makes them excited about their music reaching other countries beyond Japan. Comment on their YouTube channel. Another basic thing, however, one that many forget about. Comment on the YouTube channel, and do so in English. If you feel comfortable in some way with short sentences in Japanese, you can also do so. Still, as I said in the social media corner, Writing comments in English will show that their music is reaching a lot of people, even outside of Japan. That boosts their morale, and I bet it puts a smile on their faces. YouTube's algorithm is weird and changes constantly, however, there is something that has never changed its essence. Likes, subscribers, and comments bring attention to that channel. Commenting also helps other people coming across the projects to understand what the project is about, or even see how that indie project's fanbase behaves. Also, although this is downplayed, the managers, representatives at music labels, and even the artists at times, especially if they are managing their own channel, will read the comments. Show support, tell them what their music conveys to you, and show appreciation for the art they are creating. Being an artist is usually a painful route. All the support you can give them is appreciated. But don't just hop in the comments to comment how hot or how cool a SEIYUU is. Not only does that make it seem like you are desperate for something, but also that you do not appreciate the music, you are only one of those fans with air quotes that are only following the project because of the looks. Artists have a love-hate relationship with these types of fans, as they are usually extremely active on social media, which helps them get exposure, but they do not purchase any music, which doesn't help them at all. Make sure the comment section of a video by your favorite male SEIYUU indie project is never empty. If more people join in commenting, the YouTube algorithm begins favoring that video, and if that persists for some time, the YouTube channel in question. Suggest their music to YouTubers that review or react to music. There are tons of YouTubers that love to react to music from all over the world. Find a YouTuber with a relatively big following that does react videos to music and check their style of reaction. You don't want a YouTuber that is known for disliking everything when they listen to that song you love by your favorite indie project. You want someone that gives feedback about that music and that is, in a way, familiarized with Japanese music. Don't spam that YouTuber in the comments. It's best to bring a couple of your friends to comment as well in your thread, as well as them leaving their own comments in the general comments section. Make sure to link to the artist's Spotify page or the official video for the song you'd love to bring attention to. Stream their music. This is also as simple as it gets. Spotify is free on mobile and desktop, so there is no excuse to not stream the music by your favorite indie projects by male SEIYUU. For those that pay subscriptions, there are other platforms on which you can find the music by your favorite indie artists. A note that there are indie artists that do not distribute their music on streaming platforms, so it can be a bit tricky to stream their music. Send in messages to podcasters or even your local radio. Do you follow any podcasters or radio show hosts that like to talk about new indie music from all over the world? If you know and they actually take in requests of music to check and talk about in their shows, get in touch with them. Subscribe to their crowdfunding platform. And now we're into the options that involve you spending money to support your favorite indie projects by male SEIYUU. There are many indie projects that have crowdfunding pages in which you can pay for a small amount of money, even a lot of money, in order to access exclusive content, music video premieres, discounted tickets for live shows, or streaming events. Contrary to all other options I just gave you, this is the one in which you can be sure 90% of the money they get through that crowdfunding platform goes directly to that indie project. Purchase their music. Regardless if it is the physical or digital versions of the CDs, just the fact that you were paying is already helping your favorite indie project in the best way possible. Indie projects by male SEIYUU are usually linked to indie music labels that aren't as thirsty about money as major music labels. There are SEIYUU as well that decide to go the independent route. Independent indie projects like Qatari will get most of the money fans pay for their music. Indie projects signed to indie music labels like You Make do not receive as much money in comparison to independent projects, but do know that there is a big difference between not having a music label and having one. You Make has an indie music label that supports them in distribution and live shows. The money the band gets is substantially more even with the percentage that the indie music label gets. By being independent, Qatari has to outsource staff to help them with live shows and distribute to the fee indie projects pay to indie music labels, but it isn't. All this to say, if you purchase the digital releases or the physical CDs, you are helping your favorite indie project by male SEIYUU to have enough money to continue releasing music and holding live shows. You can purchase music by your favorite indie projects on Ototoy, which is an official digital downloads website. You have as well Animate International, CD Japan, and Amazon Japan. All of these stores ship to international fans at a small fee. Purchase their merchandise. Collectors and die-hard fans love to purchase merchandise to support their favorite projects. For example, I love to collect music, and as such I have quite a lot of merch from my favorite projects. At the moment, I've already branched out to purchasing t-shirts and figures. Like me, there are many fans that if they have money or just want to treat themselves to something of the projects they love, they will purchase merchandise. Depending on the indie project you support, the merchandise may or may not be designed by them, so not only will you be supporting the music they release, but also their creativity beyond that. Merchandise is not for everyone though. Not only can merchandise be expensive, but also not all the merchandise is useful, and if you are spending money, at least it should be on something that will be used. On top of it all, there are fans that do not like merchandise and see no value in it. So if that is you, you can really skip this suggestion. Attend their live shows, in person or streaming. If you actually live in Japan or close by, you have the opportunity to attend the live shows that your favorite indie projects by male SEIYUU hold from time to time. If you live far away from Japan or do not have the money to fly to Japan, at times there are indie projects that stream their live shows. If you can, do attend those live streams as you are directly helping your favorite indie projects. Nowadays, most of the money an artist gets is from live shows, because not everyone purchases physical CDs and music streaming doesn't pay well to the artists. And with these tips, you are more than prepared to support your favorite indie projects by male SEIYUU, and you barely need any knowledge of Japanese language. As you just heard, there are multiple ways to support your favorite indie projects by male SEIYUU. Regardless if you have money or not, you can support them and show them to other people that may be interested in similar music. And you do not need to know Japanese to actually do so. The musician's path is insanely difficult. music streaming pays really badly. CDs barely sell anymore. And getting really famous is not easy. Your support, regardless of the way it is essential for small projects with a small or non-existent budget to survive and continue to be active. Remember, they chose to go indie or independent because they wanted complete creative control in order to deliver the music you love. Do your part, support them if you love them. So tell me, how do you support your favorite indie projects by Male SEIYUU? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, and remember, leave your comments as complex or as simple as they may be, and you can be featured on upcoming episodes of SEIYUU Lounge. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the hand that feeds HQ's weekly Male SEIYUU and music-related content. I'll return next week with another episode of SEIYUU Lounge. Thank you for listening and see you guys around.